Well, son, you've been looking here for 27 years. Apparently you are somewhere else. I know we have a lot of young people here in this audience. This is a great mix of people here. How many young people here, by your applause, you still live at home? Give me your applause, you still live at home. Awesome. Oh, smart. Do not be embarrassed, young man. Listen to this. Live at home as long as you possibly can. You got that? You suck every nickel possible out of your parents. Don't be in a hurry to get some dump of your own to live in. I lived at home till I was 27 because I was trying to find myself. And then one day, boom, I found myself out in the front yard with all my stuff. I come home, my dad had moved all my stuff out onto the yard. I'm going, but Daddy, this ain't fair. I'm still trying to find myself. It's like, well, son, you've been looking here for 27 years. Apparently you are somewhere else. Now go look there somehow. Maybe when you find yourself, you can pick up a job nearby. That'd be good. I moved back in with my parents when my mom was sick. My wife and I sold our house in California and moved back home to be with my mother and father. At the age of 55, I moved back into my parents' house. And I learned an incredibly valuable lesson when that happened that I'm going to share with everybody here tonight. I don't care if you're 18 or 88, it applies to our lives, and this is it. Here it comes, young man. Ready? Your relationship with your parents will continue to get weirder and weirder as you get older. You know what I'm saying? Remember when you're like 15, 16, you're living at home, getting arguing with your parents, you're up in your room, me. I can't believe I have to take this from those people. I cannot wait till I am 21. Because when I'm an adult, I will make them treat me as their equal. I cannot wait for that day. And you know what I learned 10 years ago? That day never comes. You never get on the same adult level as your father, and I learned that one day when I was cutting the grass for my dad. I'm 55 years old at the time. I'm cutting the grass in the hot sun as a favor. Favor! Let me explain this to my young friend here. I don't get my allowance anymore. I'm not getting that big $1.25 a week I used to get. I'm cutting grass for free. All of a sudden, I turn around, my dad is sitting up here on the front porch. He's supervising my work. Now, I'm 55 years old. I know how to cut grass. I'm not gonna stick my hand under the mower. I'm not gonna check the fuel with a lighted match. You, go in the house. I don't need your help anymore. And in that moment, I realized, oh no, it will always be this way. Someday I'll be 80, my dad'll be 114. He'll still be sitting up there on the porch. You're not doing it right! You never did anything right! And I'll be out there behind the mower. I just want your approval. Why can't you just love me? I thought you'd be dead by now. I thought this part of my life would be over. Thank you guys so much for that great welcome. My name is Jeff Jena. It's great to be here. I am glad to be out of the Midwest where I live now. We've had a horrible winter. The weather's been horrible. It snowed again on April the 9th. It's been horrible. It was so bad, even the homeschool kids got snow days. I'm wearing my Fitbit tonight. I don't know if anybody else has the Fitbit. My wife gave me that for Christmas, and it's a nice gift, but I don't think it would have gone as well the other way around. I also learned something else this winter. I'm getting older. I learned this when I was hanging around with a group of millennial people, young people, and I slipped on the ice and fell down, and they didn't laugh. They all went, "Are you okay? Can we help you up?" I've just gotten to the age where I don't even try to bend over and pick things up anymore, you know? I drop something, I find a young guy and just shame him. I got more time than you, I don't work anymore. Come on, pick it up. It's weird too getting older. You know, I gotta wear my glasses to do everything now. I gotta wear my glasses when I shave. It's weird. And you can always tell older guys who don't, because I always have that like hair spider growing out of their neck somewhere. It's like, how do you miss the same spot 9 days in a row? So a couple days ago, I'm doing a show. I go to the drugstore, I get some of those new 5-blade razors. I want to check them out, right? I put one next to the sink so I know where it is when I get out of the shower. I get out of the shower, it's very steamy. I can't find my glasses. I say, that's okay. I know where the razor is. Soap up, start shaving. Unbelievable shave. So smooth. No pull, no drag. Unbelievable. Finally, the steam settles. I find my glasses. I put them on. I realize I hadn't taken the plastic cap off the razor. That's a special kind of stupid right there. I'm a dad. Where's my dads here tonight? Dads, make some noise. Where are you? Be proud, Dad. I'm a dad. I have one son. My son's name is Miles. If I mention him later in the show, Miles is my son. Unless I'm in Canada, then he's kilometers. Younger people, help the older people. They don't get the metric system. Look at them. They're confused. He is a great boy. He is our only child. So as you can imagine, he is the crown prince at our house. And he just turned 19. I love that reaction. So let me answer the question in every woman in the room's mind right now. 66. See, because I know when I say I got a 19-year-old son, every woman in her mind goes, well, how the heck old are you, Grandpa? That's not right. He's got a 19-year-old and an ARP card. Older people, help the younger people with that joke. That's a good joke. He's a great boy. He just turned 19. I was in charge of the birthday party this year. Here's what we did. We had some cake and ice cream. We gave him the presents. And it was over! Over! Dads, when your children, when they turned 1, did you guys have a birthday party for him? Of course, of course. And that was your idea, Dad? Of course not. When Miles turned 1, my wife and I got in a huge argument about the birthday party. And it's up like, she's yelling at me across the house. It's important that we have his friends over. I'm like, baby, he's 1. He doesn't know his own friends. I'm out of the house for 3 hours. He don't know me when I come back in. Now, I don't have to tell any dad in the house tonight who won this argument, do I, dads? We ended up spending $1,800. Oh, I see the look, young millennial man. Let me explain this. It's kind of like some kind of government project. There were cost overruns and union problems. We spent $1,800 on a birthday party for a 1-year-old. See, I thought my idea was much better. This is my idea. I said, we take him to the county fair, put him on a pony, have his picture taken. I take the picture home, I throw it into a drawer, and I wait. I wait 5, 8, 15 years from now, he will find that picture and he will come to me, his father, and he'll go, Daddy, what was this? I said, son, that was your first birthday? When I bought you a pony. We used to ride him all around the neighborhood. Then one day I had to go out of town. Your mom didn't take care of him and he died. I know you don't remember that, do you? No, too young. And you know what I like about this venue is I don't have to run out the door after the show tonight. I got some friends here. I'm going to hang around. I'm going to talk to people after the show. And please come up and talk after the show, because if you can't tell, I love talking to people. But if we're talking later tonight, there's only one thing I do not need to hear from you, and that's jokes about being an older dad, because I have heard them all already. Like my son started playing basketball 9 years ago, and since I grew up in Kentucky, that's kind of the law. Now, every time I go to a game or a practice, all the young dads are there, the 20 and 30-something dads like, hey, look, it's that grandpa guy. Somebody better get a chair for the old fella. I don't think he could stand up for a whole game. It's 40 minutes long, Pops. Have you got that in you? And I think every dad does this. When my son graduates from college, I will be dead. Especially if it takes him 9 years like it did for me. You know, I'm a safe distance from genius myself. Anyway, this is the worst one that ever happened. It's been a few years ago since this happened. I'm doing a show at a big theater. My wife, Carrie, and my son, Miles, come along with me. We're driving home together. It's late at night. Now, my son, Miles, he's in the back. He's in that NASA-approved astronaut safety seat. See, now, every young dad in here knows exactly what I'm talking about, but you older dads, you didn't have to have that. My dad had 9 kids. Sometimes it was all on the car at the same time. You think he had 9 safety seats in there, young guy? No way. You know what my dad's safety device was? The arm of steel. I got you. You're all right. Y'all in the back, get up off the floor. Let me look at you. You ain't bleeding. Get back up there on the seat. You gotta hold on when Daddy hits the brakes. I know the plastic on the seat is slippy. See, that's a generational joke right there. Look at older people laughing. Look at these young millennial people going, plastic on the seat. Were they taking that to recycling somewhere? My dad had a 1959 Pontiac Bonneville when I was a kid. We used to go on a long drive. I used to lay up on the dashboard and get some sun. One of my younger brothers would be laying in the back. My youngest brother be sitting between my daddy's legs, helping him drive. Police go by, they never stop my dad. That's so cute, how y'all doing? My daddy would wave back with a beer in his hand. We on vacation! I'm just saying, young guy, there's a different time back then. I'm not saying that was a good idea for behavior. Anyway, we're driving home. It's late at night. My son, he's in the back. He's in the NASA-approved astronaut safety seat. Now, my wife, Carrie, she's up here in the front, and she's going through what these young moms call the diaper bag. But young dads, it ain't about diapers, is it? No. That's the bag of life. For any possible emergency that might arise. Oh, there's diapers and wipes and a little Desitin and some baby powder. And then there's like this giant bar. It's got milk and water and 6 kinds of juice, because I don't know what the boy's gonna want to drink if he wakes up. And then there's a hypodermic needle filled with epinephrine in case a bee flies into the car and happens to sting the child. He might have an allergic reaction. You gotta jam him in the heart and stop the allergic reaction. And then there's a nuclear radiation suit, because a bomb could go off when we're out. What's wrong with you? Don't you love your child? That's because these young moms are what they call helicopter moms. You ever hear that term before? It means they hover over their kid, try to protect them from every bump and scrape in life. And you older moms here tonight, back me up on this. Not possible. And my wife, Carrie, the worst. The worst. I remember Miles about 3 years old. We're walking down the street one day. He's got Mommy saying, it's like, Mommy, 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 Mommy. What's that? She goes, oh, son, those are ants. Ants. And we're there for the next 35 minutes for a lecture on ants and community insects and how they build their sandcastle homes and how they follow each other with their 35 minutes. You think my mother had time for that? 9 kids, she's trying to get us all somewhere. You're going, hey, Mom, what's that? She's like, that's dead kid moment. So we're driving home. It's late at night. My son, he's in the back. He's in the NASA-approved astronaut safety seat. The love of my life, Carrie, she's up in the front. She's going through the bag of life. All of a sudden, she looks up at me in a panic. Panic. We are out of Pampers. We're out of Pampers! I said, baby, relax. We are 15 minutes from home. She goes, excuse me. Did I ask you where we were? Pampers now. Oh, look at that young dad. He's having flashbacks right now, man. I whip up the ramp off the interstate. Fortunately, there's a drugstore right at the top of the ramp there. I jump out of the car in my best Starsky and Hutch. I say, baby. That's an old reference, but you can use it. I said, baby, he's asleep. You stay here with him. I'm gonna run and get some Pampers. I'll be right back. First young woman working on ramp, I go, sweetheart, I'm in a huge hurry. I need some diapers. See, some of the older people getting ahead of the story here. She takes me to the Depends aisle. So I don't need to hear any old dad jokes out of all y'all tonight. Beautiful time, springtime, beautiful time. I love summer. I love the holiday season too. It's like I can't wait for the next holiday season all the time. My favorite holiday? Christmas. I love me some Christmas. My least favorite holiday is every man in this room's least favorite holiday, ladies. Valentine's Day. Every man in here hates Valentine's Day, ladies, and here's why. For guys, Valentine's Day is exactly the same holiday as Halloween. Think about it, young lady. It's a day where he got to dress up, pretend he's somebody he ain't, and then he gives away candy. I thought I had a good idea this year because I love my wife. I try to be romantic. I try to please her. I thought I had a great idea this year. I got it from the popular culture. There's this rock and roll singer named Katy Perry. She got married to an English comedian named Russell Brand. Now, unfortunately, their marriage did not work out. But guys, listen to this. When they got married, they went over there to India. Got married in a big old ceremony. And guys, do you know what he'd give her for a wedding gift? An elephant. But he's an environmentalist guy, so he didn't really give her an elephant. He only gave her the thought of giving her an elephant. And left the elephant to live in its natural habitat. Guys, this is brilliant! You know what I got my beautiful bride this year for Valentine's Day? A brand new Mercedes-Benz. But I left it in its natural habitat down there at the dealership. I love being married, I truly do, man. Anyway, I love me some Christmas. My favorite Christmas was when my son was 9 years old. Because that was the Christmas when my son was Santa agnostic. He wasn't sure about Santa anymore. And my wife and I had tried to preserve the innocence of childhood for as long as we could. But he'd heard things from the other boys and girls at school who had older brothers and sisters, so he really wasn't sure about Santa. So that Christmas, he still wrote his letter to Santa. But he CC'd me. And this will amaze the older parents here tonight, but not the younger parents. The number one thing on my son's Christmas list that year, and I hear guys say that all the time, Xbox, PlayStation, Wii. And I had to explain to my son, when I was his age, we didn't even imagine having anything like that. He goes, Daddy, serious? No Xbox. Daddy, what did you have? I said, son, we had cardboard box. You cut a big hole in the side, you drug it into the front yard, it became your PlayStation. Number one thing on my son's Christmas list, cell phone. Cell phone. I looked at him, I said, you're 9 years old. Who are you gonna call? He goes, oh, Dad. I'm not gonna call anyone. I'm gonna text. Have you seen these packs of kids at the mall or at church or at school? They're texting, you know, they're running into babies and old ladies. They're knocking over strollers because they got the face in the phone. We're texting. And do you know who they are texting? Another kid that is 9 feet away. A couple weeks ago, I'm driving my son and my niece somewhere, 8 o'clock in the morning. This is what I hear from the back seat for 15 minutes. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. We get to a red light. I can't take it anymore. I turn around and say, who are you people sending messages to at 8 o'clock in the morning? They both look at me like I'm the idiot in the car. Each other. I said, you're in the car together. Why don't you just, I don't know, talk. My niece looks right at me and goes, we don't want you to hear what we're saying. And my nephew, who you think would know better, my nephew graduated last May from the University of Kentucky, 5-year degree, architectural engineering. This is a smart young man. At my house, on Christmas Day in front of the whole family, he starts making fun of me. He goes, Uncle Jeffrey, you've just gotten too old. You don't understand the technology. Why, they have developed technologies in cell phones which allow the sender of a text to speak his text into the phone. Send it. And the receiver's phone will speak the text aloud to him. Wow! Does Alexander Graham Bell know about this technology? Of course, my nephew went to a public school in Kentucky, so he really wasn't sure who Alexander Graham Bell was, so... Judging from a few of the faces right there, maybe not everybody here tonight does either. Alexander Graham Bell was the co-founder of the Apple Computer Company. She should have Googled it. Anyway, I'm going to jump to the end of this story. When I'm out here 2,000 miles from my family in a room full of people who I don't know, I try to act like I'm the tough dad, the hammer, the boss, the disciplinarian, but I will be honest with every dad here. When it comes to my son, I am a total pushover. So I don't have to tell anybody here what he got for Christmas that year, do I? Cell phone. Who said Xbox? Somebody is not following the story. Cell phone. But whenever I give my son an expensive gift, I try to add a little lesson in life that maybe he will carry with him longer than the gift lasts. Let me give you an example. We're at the Walmart a little while back. We're back in the video game section. My son's like, Dad, check it out, man. Madden 18. Can I get that? I'm like, you're gonna get it? Sure, go ahead. He gets the guy, gets it out of the box, takes it up the front, boop, boop, $79. He looks at me, I look at him and I go, oh, I thought you were getting that. I'm not buying Madden 18, you got Madden 14 at home, it works perfectly fine, I'll take that and put it back. He goes, well, you're hilarious, Dad. You and your little life lessons embarrass me whenever you can. Well, you know what? Someday you're gonna go in a home and I'll be paying and you're not gonna get a Madden 18 home. I'm gonna give you like a Madden 04 home. What do you think about that? Oh, it'll work and everything. It won't just be that nice. And sometimes he turns that sense of humor around on me. Like we're at the grocery store the other day. The woman who's ringing up our groceries is about my age. She looks at me, she looks at my son, and makes a common mistake. She goes, oh, isn't that sweet that your grandson comes grocery shopping with you? I go, ma'am, this is my son. He goes, Grandpa, come on. He's losing it upstairs, lady. Sometimes he gets confused and thinks I'm my dad when my dad was a boy. Can you get us out of here? I gotta get him back to his home. The Madden 04 home where he spends his miserable days. Anyway, you remember what it was like when you were 9, 10 years old. You knew what you hoped Santa brought you. You know what you were looking for under that tree at Christmas morning. My son jumps out of bed, runs down the stairs, looks under the tree, and sees that perfect little box. Yes. Grabs it, rips off the paper. I got a phone for Christmas. I got a phone for Christmas. Opens it up, starts reading directions. Daddy, I have to plug this phone in and allow it to charge completely before I use it. It might take as much as 6 hours. I go, well, you better get to it. Plugs it in all day long. He's running by the little table. Ooh, it's not ready. It's still charging. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Finally, after about 5 hours, the phone is charged up. Takes it off the charger, turns it on. Daddy, there is something seriously wrong with this phone. It's not working. I said, yeah, you know, maybe you should have asked Santa for service, too. Hey, maybe next Christmas. Excuse me, I'm going to change gears a little bit here and talk about something that a lot of comics won't talk about in their shows. And I do it as a tribute to my mother, who was a beautiful and funny woman and part of my inspiration for being a comedian today. There's an old saying in comedy that comedy is tragedy plus time. And with that in mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my mom, who was funny and hilarious. We lost her a little over 4 years ago. And it's something we're all going to have to deal with, because I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but the human mortality rate is 100%. We're all going there someday. And unfortunately, I lost my mom before I was ready to. She died after a long, long battle with cancer, and she was a wonderful mom. You know what kind of mom my mom was? She was this kind of mom. Does anybody have a mom like my mom? You would go home to visit her when you were an adult child, right? And she would start telling you a story, and you would have no idea what she's trying to tell you. You remember that fella named Billy? Billy. No, Ma, I don't. Billy, no. You go, yes, you went to high school with him. I didn't go to high school with the Billy. Yes, you did. He had a big blue Ford, a Fairlane convertible. You guys used to drive around, play those 8-track. And she'd go on for 25, 30, 35 minutes trying to remind you, and you got no clue who the heck Billy is. None. Finally, you just want the conversation to end and move on to the next topic. So you say something like, oh, Billy. And my mom goes, well, he's dead. Ma, maybe that should have been the beginning of the story. How about this next time? Billy's dead. Do you remember him? When my mom passed away, it was 2 weeks before my mother and father's 65th wedding anniversary. Thank you very much. They had a great run. And even though we had seen it coming, as you can imagine, when my mom passed, my father was heartbroken. So he came to me and asked me to arrange my mother's funeral. Now, I hope that you never, ever have to do this sad job for a friend or a loved one, and I'm sure some of you already have had this bad experience in your life. But if you do ever have this experience, I want to try to help you with some of my funeral arranging tips. Number 1, beware of the funeral director. It seems like he's on your side. I'm going to help you through this grieving process. I know how you are feeling. Right till he gets you in that casket display room, did you even know there was one? Gets you in there, goes, your mother was a beautiful woman, but not as beautiful as this baby right here. This is solid oak. These are sterling silver handles. I'm going to let this go today for only $6,800. Going, whoa, 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 whoa. You did not just ask me to spend $6,800 on something we're going to put in the ground in 2 weeks. I got an idea. Why don't you show me the box that thing came in? Maybe we can work something out. And then he tries to guilt trip me. Oh. You wouldn't disgrace your mother's memory that way. Woo-hoo. You didn't know my mom, did you? My mother was a beautiful, funny, frugal old woman. I spent $6,800 on a casket. She will get up off that table in the other room. She will come in here and kill me. We will have 2 funerals this week. And then he starts the feature benefit thing. But this casket is a Batesville. It's guaranteed to be airtight and waterproof for 100 years. Like you're gonna check. 10 years from now, my sister and I will be sitting around going, you think Mom's still dry? I could use my $6,000 back, that's all I'm saying. But the Batesville is the Cadillac of caskets. That's awesome. I'm looking for more like the Ford Focus of caskets. Something nice, but maybe a little more economical. And then if you ever have had this sad experience, you know this is true, that when you're finished and you've made your selection, they always close the deal with this word, comfort. I think your mother will be very comfortable here. Would you like the $85 pillow option? Dude, she's dead. I don't believe her neck's gonna get any stiffer. I'll bring an old one from home, we'll roll it up and put it under there. What do you say? A few weeks after we had the services for my mom, I was sharing some of this with my father. And 2 days later, he come into the house and threw a big envelope on the table. I said, Daddy, what's that? He goes, buddy, that is pre-need. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I have arranged my own funeral. Really, Dad? Well, what are we going to do? He goes, going to burn me up. Going to get in a cardboard box, they put me up, and they burn me up, and they give you the ashes. I said, that's great, but what do you want me to do with the ashes? He goes, I don't care. I'll be in heaven with Mom. You can do whatever you want with them. And then he backtracked a little bit on me. He goes, but I'll tell you what, son. You know, we have always loved playing golf together. So if you take a little bit of me, spread it out there on the golf course, and it'd be like every time you're out there, we're out there together. And I said, I'll do it, Dad. Except he forgot my sense of humor. Let me tell you something about my dad. He can't get out of a sand trap when he's alive. He's gonna spend eternity there. And I don't want anybody to get their mind because I love my dad. Awesome guy. Just that my father is 89 years old. He's an official old guy. And I know that because he owns the official old guy car. My dad has a 1979 Buick Battlestar Galactica. Ever driven a big old car like that? You're like a pirate behind the wheel. Yo-ho! Grab the wheel, lad. I can't hold it on me own. It's a big car, young dude. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You get that thing on the interstate, you can't stay in one lane. You drift across all of the lanes. Yo-ho! Which is why these older guys like to keep a turn signal on for you all the time. He didn't forget, he just don't know when he's gonna go. And you know what? My Uncle Artie is worse. My Uncle Artie is 95. He is the youngest brother. He's actually my great uncle. He is the youngest brother of my grandfather. He's 95. He lives with my dad. There's a great idea. Got a 95-year-old guy, and then with another guy who's well into his 80s. They have invented a new game. It's called, huh? They play for hours. They sit around in the house all day. You know what's really weird? I'm home 20 minutes. I know what they're talking about. Listen, you guys have been fantastic. I'm Jeff Jena. It's been my pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you guys so much.